Good afternoon.
I don't know about you, I'm so excited I can't contain myself. I want to welcome everyone, Lake Prince family and those who are from the outside. We have a very, very special presentation of Fanny Crosby. And for those who have seen this play, of course you're going to love it. For those who haven't seen it, you're going to love it as well. You can see some of her bio on the back of our bulletin. Has an extensive career in music and acting. And time will not permit to go over each and every one of her accolades, but we love her and we are truly blessed to have Betty Ann Campbell here with us at Lake Prince. I do want to make a change here on the back. There was a mistake. Betty Ann Campbell has been a director and accompanist of Lake Prince Woods Choir and the Golden Voices for 12 and a half years. I think it has 2.5 years on the back of the bulletin. So that is 12 and a half years. So we are so blessed and honored to have a person of that caliber and a person of character, and we just love her. And also Henry Simpson, who's playing our piano. You know, Henry takes his piano assignment very seriously. He practices all the time, and all of the music that you hear from Henry on the piano, this is all researched, and it's all Fanny Crosby music. So we're blessed to have Henry, her partner, to play again in this extraordinary play. And we're going to open up our play with all of us singing, and you'll have the words in your bulletin, I am thine, O Lord.
Bless you, dear children. It was so good to hear you singing the words to one of my hymns as I arrived. Yes, I am thine, O Lord. I have heard thy voice and told its love to me. But I long to dwell in the arms of faith and be closer drawn to me. Draw me nearer, nearer, blessed Lord, to the place where thou hast died. Draw me nearer, nearer, blessed Lord, to thy precious bleeding side. Oh, I truly hope you know how much that means to me. It was fortunate that my kind niece, Florence Booth, who takes such good care of me, could bring me here. She usually turns away my visitors, especially those from the newspaper. But today is special. Yesterday, I turned 88 years old. Oh, I guess that makes me an old woman. And you even brought in a rocking chair for my old bones. Oh, that was very kind. Now, I don't mind birthdays. The more the better, I say. And here I am, celebrating with you at the First Methodist Church in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where I always like to come for my birthday. Thank you so much for the watch. You had engraved on the back my initials, FJC, with the words, presented to Fanny Crosby on her 88th birthday from the Young People's Societies and other friends in Connecticut. Someone told me it cost $175. Oh, it's almost a sin to accept a gift that expensive. But I shall always treasure it. Now, what can I tell you? Most people want to hear about my early remembrances and how I became blind. No, I was not born blind. When I was 6 weeks old, my eyes became inflamed. Our regular doctor could not come, and so another doctor came and put hot poultices on my eyes. It was a tragic mistake because I became blind for life. So be it. My father died when I was a baby, and my mother had to go to work as a housekeeper to get support for the family. It was my grandmother who supplied most of my early training. She told me about and described in full every beautiful sight. Oh, how I loved to walk in the garden and learn the names of flowers from my touch of the petals. And, oh, the odor. Recognize birds by their melodies. Why, I could climb the tallest tree and ride horseback very well. Not many people knew that I was blind. I loved to hear grandmother read the scriptures and sing the old song. It is true, by the time I was 10 years old, I knew by heart the first 4 books of the Old Testament and the 4 Gospels of the New Testament. The prayer that I prayed the most, kneeling beside my grandmother's rocking chair, very much like this one feels. Dear Lord, let me learn like other children do. When I was 15 years old, I went to the New York Institute for the Blind in New York City. I was homesick at first, but my own verses came to me continually. The teachers wanted me to stop my writing and become disciplined in the studies they wanted me to learn. Oh, how I hated arithmetic. I called it the monster. So I just kept on with my writing. Oh yes, I was a problem student. But the Blind Institute became my home for many years. I was even a teacher there, and I saw the need for more educational opportunities for blind children. I was invited to speak to the United States Senate on the matter. Then I was told that I was the first woman ever to speak to the United States Senate. What an honor that was. Something wonderful happened to me there. I was able to teach my own husband when he arrived at the school. Are some of you surprised? Oh no, I wed Alexander Van Austin, who later became the music teacher there. And we were married for 44 years before he passed away. My greatest sorrow was the death of our only infant son. Oh, but that's enough of me for a moment. I understand that you have another of my hymns in your program. Jesus, keep me near the cross. There, a precious fountain, free to all. A healing stream flows from Calvary's mountain. In the cross be my glory ever, till my raptured soul shall find peace beyond the road. Would you do me the honor of singing it for me now? Mr. Simpson, play the introduction to Jesus Keep Near the Cross. It's quite strange how some of my hymns came to me. On a particular day, I did not have the money to pay my rent. And although I tried never to say a prayer for my own daily needs, Oh, I thought I'd better say a prayer to God, for I really needed that $10, and there was not time to contact my publisher for help. Even though I continued my writing, the doorbell rang. There I found a person I did not know, but I gave my usual greeting. Bless you, dear soul. Oh, we chatted briefly, and as that person left, I felt something pressed in my hand. It was a $10 bill. That night, words came to me. All the way my Savior leads me, what have I to ask besides? Can I doubt his tender mercies, who for life has been my guide? Oh, it would help me to remember the many kindnesses I have received, if you would sing it for me now. Mr. Simpson, play the introduction. I know you wonder how I became a hymn. I almost lost my whole career of writing hymns. I was 44 years old before I wrote the first one. Oh, I had had several books of poetry published and was known as a lyricist of secular verse. The pastor of the Dutch Reformed Church over on 23rd Street in New York City asked me to write a poem for their New Year's watch night service. Later, he introduced me to Mr. William Bradbury, the famous composer and publisher. Mr. Bradbury said to me, "Fanny Crosby, I thank God that at last we have met, for I believe you can write hymns, and I've wanted for a long time to talk to you." That was the beginning of a great inspiration for me. Words of hymns began to flow. I was even under contract to write 3 hymns a week. Oh, I have no idea how many I've written. They tell me it's over 9,000, and I've used almost 200 pen names. Sometimes I've been given a subject. Other times I used my own ideas. But I always ask the Lord to be my first impression. I never put a poem on paper unless it was completely set in my mind and needed no further revision. I believe God gave me the ability to memorize. It's amazing how many of my hymns have been set to music. Oh, I do recall how the words of one hymn came to me. One night, I went down into New York City to the Bowery, to a mission. And there I found the need to help the down and out, the homeless. On the way home, words came to me. Rescue the perishing. Care for the dying. Jesus is merciful. Jesus will save. It seems to me that this would be a good moment for all of us to bow our heads in prayer silently and say a prayer for those less fortunate than we. The music for that particular hymn was composed by Mr. William H. Doan. And I've asked that Mr. Simpson play that beautiful music as a solo while we bow our heads in prayer and listen to that. Rescue the perishing, Mr. Simpson. That is beautiful music. Thank you, Mr. Simpson. One of you wrote to me and asked, what was your most embarrassing moment? Well, one summer, when I was attending the Northfield Assembly, Mr. Ira Sankey, the evangelist, was leading a hymn. Hide me, oh my Savior, hide me. I did not recognize it, and so I kept inquiring. Mr. Sankey thought I was joking, and so he turned and said, you don't know who wrote that hymn? Well, you should, because you are the guilty one. Maybe it was the music. We had a good laugh together. strangers, and dear friends have all set the hymns that I have written to music. Oh, I hope they'll be remembered and bring peace to others. It reminds me of a time that I have had in being able to write so many, many hymns. I think God wanted me to be blind so as to sing his praises and proclaim him to the world. As a matter of fact, when I one day was seated in one of my good friends' parlors, Phoebe Mapp, who was a devoted Christian and a musician, she was seated at her piano composing a new song. She turned to me and asked, "Fanny, what does this music mean to you?" As I continued to listen, the words came quickly. "Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. Heir of salvation, purchased of God, born of his Spirit, and washed in his blood. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long." It's been so good to have you sing my hymns, to listen to my stories, and help me to celebrate my birthday. But now it's time for me to go. And I'm wondering if while I leave, you will sing for me once more, that I can hear it. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Mr. Gale, would you please come and assist me as my niece will be waiting in the back? And Mr. Simpson, would you please play the introduction that the congregation may one more time sing for me, and it is that hymn I love so dearly, Blessed Assurance.